How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to TheBlueShifting. Welcome back to Aokana. Four rhythms across the blue, or whatever, the blue sky, blue field, whatever. Last week was excellent. Interesting episode. We got some of the first, kind of more ecchi content, which I felt was in fairly good taste. Wasn't too bad. Definitely lots of coconuts. Took a lot of editing. YouTube was cool with it. I could count my lucky stars. I don't think it'll last. One of the perks of being a smaller channel is I don't get a lot of attention for this stuff. So I kind of get under the radar sometimes, I think. Other times, though, they'll come up and just smack something down really quickly and immediately. I don't know. YouTube's really inconsistent with that kind of stuff, and with visual novels especially, so we'll see. But it was a good episode, really fun. Character development, and got some world building stuff going on. But now we're going into the final day of the training. We're going to have this intense, bro cuddle thing happening here. But I think what we're going to see is our first match tomorrow. That's kind of what I thought was going to be the capstone. It was going to be an actual, see how they play together. I imagine we're going to lose horrifically, but we'll see some good progress, which will be kind of an inspiration for us to try and push harder to get ready for the actual tournaments and real play events that are coming up in the future. But we'll have to see. Regardless of all that, I'm just enjoying the game. It's funny because I keep talking about the art style. There's something about the way that they do the art for this game that really speaks to me. I'm not saying it's the best art I've seen in any game, but there's just something that just clicks with me. Just whatever the style is, whatever the choices that were going through the artist's mind when it came to designing characters and set pieces and everything, it just works for me. So I've been having a good time with even just the art. It's a very pretty game in my opinion, but I've also heard some divisive comments about that. Not everyone agrees with me on that, which is perfectly fine. It's actually kind of cool. I saw a clip today while I was doing my own personal YouTube stuff. God, I think it's Jesse Cox. That's the channel, Jesse Cox. He used to do video games. Now he does more podcasty, kind of review and reaction type stuff. Yeah, Jesse Cox. But they had a clip that they uploaded today they had a VTuber on, and they were talking about visual novels, and the clip was about how visual novels have not really taken off in the West nearly as much as they took off in Japan. And I was just sitting there, I was like, oh my gosh, I would so love to have a good, really grounded talk about that with other people. I wish I were impactful enough to get invited to frickin' people's podcasts and have these dialogues with other creators. I can always throw my hat into the ring kind of a thing. I kind of did by putting a comment on there saying hey, I'd love to talk visual novels sometime, but it's just not going to happen. I've done some collabs before and they've been pretty fun, but at the same time it feels really awkward, and not really awkward though. It's it can be weird because it's just so different from what you're used to doing. And then I don't know. I started pushing for it because I wasn't feeling like it was really kind of clicking, or at least I wasn't doing the right kind of collabs. And with my kind of content, it's hard to do a collab with anyway. It's what I'm passionate about, but I'm passionate about stories and content, story content. And that tends to be very single player. I'd love to talk about it with other people, but I don't know. It's tough. I'd love to try new things and reach out and try to collab or work with other channels. It's been something I kind of stepped away from, especially when I was working nights. I just was that's never going to work out now. But nowadays, I might be able to try it again sometime. So maybe we can. If you think of a channel, like a YouTube channel or a Twitch channel or another content creator in general that you think might potentially be a good match for me, or you feel it'd be interesting if we ended up talking about a subject that we might have in common, or maybe subjects we don't have in common and we could just have a chat with, I would be open to at least hearing that out. Maybe sending a brief little business email or something. I don't know. That kind of stuff's odd because I feel the times where it's been successful and fun have been really random, things I never quite expected. And then other times where I've tried and just been severely disappointed. But I don't know, we'll have to see. Anyway, let's jump into this, shall we? I don't have a ton of time, so I'm hoping we can at least get through the next day before I need to get going. But it kind of depends on how long this takes, so let's just jump in. You're kind of forcing me to agree. This is really creepy.
安心してよ。これ以上は何もしないから。
That's not what you want to hear whispered to you at night. Not sure I can trust a word of someone who just crawled into my sleeping bag. He's like in our sleeping bag. Holy crap! Like do. I'm flattered, but I don't swing that way.
確かにそうだ。
I don't like that response either. At least pretend to feel bad. This is getting really weird, but I'll put up with it for now. What do you want?
今から僕と試合してくれないか?
A match right now? Huh? I'm dumbstruck.
この2日間、君を見てきた。前にも話した通り、僕は君に憧れていたからね。君が FC に帰ってきたと聞いて、あの頃の気持ちが蘇ったよ。
Okay. But like, we don't fly anymore. You know that, right?
僕は僕でしかない。そんなことは重々承知だが、君を継ぐのは僕でありたい。いや、君に認めてもらいたいだけなのかもしれない。
So it sounds like you just want to defeat me, just for your own ego. I almost would want to say no just out of spite. Just be like, no, I'm clearly not going to be good enough to beat you now, and I don't want to be. But I'm not going to just feed your ego for no reason.
僕はね、君を超えたいんだ。
You already have. I mean, that's what I would say too. I'd be like, you have. You still fly. I chose not to. You've surpassed me. In response to Shindou's penetrating gaze, But I'm... Silence reigns. Wait. It almost feels like... It feels like there was almost like a choice there. But there wasn't. Weird.
そうだね。無理を承知で言った。すまない。でも、もう一つ。僕はずっと疑問に思っていたんだ。
Let me guess. Why? What is it?
君がどうして今更 FC に戻ってきたのか。
It wasn't quite the why I thought, but it was definitely like the second one I thought he was going to ask. Why'd you return after you left? Well...
君の視線を引きつけた動機が彼女たちの中にいるんだろう。僕が勝ったら勝負してくれるかい。
Okay. I get you're passionate, dude. But this is like serial killer vibes right here. This is the face you see before you, like, go meet the Reaper. Shindou-san.
忘れてほしい。すまなかった。
These girls aren't some gauntlet for you to overcome. It's not some barrier I'm protecting myself with. I'm literally not even sure I should be doing this or want to do this. I'm doing this mostly because they are passionate and I don't want to just sit back and do nothing. I guess though, by that argument, he's passionate too. Maybe we shouldn't stand in the way of that. But my knee-jerk reaction, regardless of anything else, is it's basically just be like, screw you. Like, why should I acquiesce to what you want right now? Shindou-san backs down after seeing my reaction, then forms a somewhat sad smile. With that, he leaves my sleeping bag. Shindou-san. Thanks for that conversation, I can't sleep. Yeah, bet. I'm kind of glad I stopped there, like before. Aw, here's our freaking crew. Look at them all. And Prez. It's funny, because, like, I still feel like I need to, like, let these characters grow on me. I think Mashiro and, gosh darn it. Black hair girl. I know her name. It's just not coming to me right now. I'm still so new that like the names are kind of like half there, half not. Like I'll get there where I'll just immediately just know all their names. It always takes some time. But like these two, I just feel like I don't know much about them. They're quirky. But Mashiro especially, I'm like, who the heck? Like, why are you even here? But like, they're growing on me. It's very interesting. So yeah, let's see how this all plays out. It's the final day for our training camp. Practice matches are taking center stage today. Alright, time to end things with a bang. Take these matches just as seriously as a real tournament match.
Hi.
Yeah, Asuka, I know you would.
Oh! Okay?
I don't know if you have an off switch, you're just on. Misaki, that's the name, Misaki. Yeah, don't ask questions. Just play. I said don't. What did I say about questions? Doesn't matter. Let's talk strategy. Haven't decided yet. Still, we only have 4 people to choose from, which means it all depends on who Takafuji picks. FC has no weight or gender division. That means the Skywalker has to be ready to face any opponent. And with a system like this, especially is so dependent on equipment, like, insanely, like, the levels of equipment is insanely high. I feel like that's a really appropriate sport to have the, like, mixed gender, mixed, like have it all be mixed up together because of that heavy dependence. In fact, that's one of the, I think, like, I know there's a lot of debate about it. I don't know how much it was anymore. Like, I had family who were big into, like, NASCAR, and I remember when the debate was a big deal a while ago. I don't know if they've overcome it or not, but there was a lot of arguments that people were saying, like, whether or not women should be allowed in NASCAR, and I was like, that's a no-brainer. Like, yeah, the racer is an important part of NASCAR, but it's the car that's doing, like, the work, right? It's the speed, it's the mechanism that they travel in. It's an extension of the driver, but the driver's physical prowess in the vehicle is, while it's a factor, it's not as... The differential should be minimized by the reliance on the machine. So I was like, that seems like a no-brainer. Absolutely, you should mix up the genders for NASCAR. In fact, I wonder if that never was a gender thing, but, like, maybe there's just a part of the process that just women never got up that high or weren't allowed to get up that high, you know, by tradition's sake or just stigma in general. Anyway, when it comes to pure prowess, though, like, I don't know, like something like boxing or MMA fighting, especially, like, the biological, like, inevitable differences are something that I think are a concern and need to be taken into strong consideration. Then again, though, I mean, the problem is often injury, but, like, if people are okay with it and everyone's consenting, I don't see why not for any sport, really. But, you know, there's arguments to be made, and it's funny because it's like, I feel like a lot of times in these types of discussions, it either is you're, like, on one side or the other, and, like, people won't hear anything different, and that's the worst kind of discussions. That's the worst kind of topics to debate, is where it's like, it's either all or nothing, black or white, like, boom, make your choice. It's like, life's really a lot more complicated than that, and it's good to talk the nuances. Anyway, enough of that.
順番は
I'd argue we should start with the most experienced, so Misaki. Haven't decided that either. You can pick that up. You can pick that yourself if you want.
私が最初に行くよ。どうせやんなきゃいけないなら早めに終わらせたいし。
I mean, that's an interesting attitude, but like I said, I think she should go first because she's the one that has the most experience, so it'd be good for the others to watch and kind of learn what they can.
じゃあ私2番行きます。美咲先輩の次。
Well, this isn't a team battle, so none of this actually matters. Okay.
私は
俺は鳥だな。神道と因縁の部長対決だ。
I don't think that'll go well for you.
じゃあ私が3番で部長さんが4番ということで。
All right, let's go with that.
順番は決まりましたか？ちょうど今決まったよ。
Thank you, Madoka.
では早速1試合目を始めましょう。はーい、私です。
I wonder if they're gonna have Tatooine like face against Asuka again. That'd be cool, but I also think it'd be fun to see her go up against somebody else. Misaki steps forward as her usual casual attitude.
僕が出よう。
Oh, what? Oh no. Is he gonna fight all of us? And Shindou-san responds by nominating himself. Oh boy. Well, I have expected this outcome.
神道貴様俺との対決に臆したか。
あれ、何か約束してたっけ？
約束してなくてもわかるだろ。
Shion, I don't think it's obvious to anybody. Our prez is pretty darn unreasonable.
よろしく。飛沢くんだったね。
誰が相手でも構いませんけど。
I have a feeling he's gonna get real nasty when he's actually in the air. And it's gonna be like, oh, I get so into the head. He's gonna be cruel. I think he's gonna be mean because like he wants to like make us angry so that we'll fly against him.
いい試合にしよ
Misaki and I put our headsets. Test. Can you hear?
聞こえてる。感度良好。
And how are your graph shoes? Misaki's wearing Leviatans, which I think is supposed to be like a massacring of leviathans, which are kind of hard to handle. I've been waiting for Misaki to get better at using them, which is why I haven't done any balance tuning yet.
問題ないよ。ここでの練習で結構飛び回ったからね。つい
Oh,
に征服しちゃったかな。
I hope so. Right, it does look like you've gotten used to them at least.
それなりって言うな。
You can complain when you're good. Misaki puffs her cheeks in annoyance as she says that. Then after a few moments, her gaze turns cold.
それにしても、なんで合宿の締めの試合の相手に進藤さんは私を選んだのかな。
I think
ここには私より飛べる人いるでしょ。
I have this feeling he's gonna challenge all of them, and he's gonna just beat the crap out of them. No mercy. Maybe he wanted to face a student from a different school? Can't say.
そういうもんかね。
Well, honestly speaking, he isn't someone you have any hope of defeating, so make sure you learn a few things from the experience.
コーチがそういう後ろ向きなこと言うのはどうなんだろう。でもまあ、そうだよね。
Yeah, I get it, but I would also be kind of like, hey, come on, like, I can at least do my best, right? She shrugs her shoulders listlessly as she says that. The thing is, like, these attitudes are going to actually be a problem. Like, if we want to actually push ourselves, like, we have to dispense of this. You need to have some, like, at least a little bit of, like, self-determinism. And I would say competitiveness, but I'm not sure that's a key ingredient because I've always been, like, a very uncompetitive person. I enjoy, like, the sport, but I usually get the big thrill from like seeing myself improve or accomplish things that I want to do. It's never about beating somebody else. And maybe that's also why I was never great at sports, because I just never had that drive to make a win happen. It was more about like just trying to, I don't know, have fun, which is just not a great path towards like excellence, which is sad because I definitely was happier for it, but yeah, I'm worried that we don't have that burning passion that we would really need to try to improve beyond just like a fan club, you know, an FC like I don't know. There's like a term for the team. Like it's not the team that goes to tournaments, it's the team that like plays for the sake of playing.
実力の差ってものを実感してきますか。
Even if you think you can't win, you still need to try. Giving up without a fight would be plain rude.
はいはい、分かってますよ。そっちこそちゃんと指示を出してよ。
Of course.
じゃ、お互いに頑張りますか。
Misaki flies off toward first. She seems somewhat shaky. Come to think of it, who's Shindou-san second? I look around to find Shindou-san talking to Satuin. Possibly having noticed my gaze, Shindou-san looks my way and gives me a meaningful smile, then flies off toward first. I go over to Satuin-san. Are you going to be a second?
部長が私のアドバイスを必要としているとは思えませんけど、攻防にも筆の誤りと言いますから。
Yeah, even top pros end up losing sight of their opponent during a match. By the way, why did Shindou-san choose Misaki?
部長は飛沢美咲さんを評価しているようですわ。
I wonder why. That seems odd. Now this feels like it is targeted, so what's up with that? Really?
センスがあるということです。
Well, I agree with that, but
近くで見ていると見落としてしまうことありますわよ。
that would mean I failed as a coach.
そこまでは言いませんけど、そろそろ試合が始まりますわね。
Satuin and I look up to the figures who are positioned next to first.
よろしくお願いします。
いや、こちらこそよろしくね。
Oh, you both have like similar smiles that I just don't trust. The more I've been paying attention to Misaki, I think that she's got a big mask on. She's too good at everything. There's got to be more going on there. And the lackadaisical attitude is like, I feel like it's also a front. Like there's something deeper. And I imagine that you don't get to see it unless you go down her route. I definitely feel like they built that up as a character because she handles things too well so far. It makes me really wonder like what they have planned as the writer, like for that character.
どうして私を選んだんですか？
面白そうだと思ってね。
面白そう？もしかしてそれって嫌味ですか？
まさか文字通りの意味だよ。
試合開始してもいいですか？
ごめん、僕はいつでもいいよ。
Okay.
私も OK です。
では開始しますね。セット。
Ready? There we go. Shindou-san jets off along the first line, heading straight for the second. On the other hand, Misaki jumped ahead to the second line. Between an all-rounder and a fighter, the all-rounder can fly faster in a straight line. There's no point in Misaki competing in a test of speed. So she's like, so this is a question I had before, because like part of the rules that they were described, it made it sound like you had to hit the buoys like in order. Like maybe you have to hit them in order to score points hitting the buoys, but if you just forego hitting the buoys, can you just fly around the whole map as much as you want? That seems kind of odd, because I feel like they made sure that to say like you had to do it in a specific order. So like what's the limiting factor there? Or is it really just as simple as like Misaki might be going over to the second line, but if she wanted to score hitting the buoy, she'd have to hit the first one first. But does that mean that if you give up on this first buoy, you're basically forever behind? Like you'd always have to play catch up and you'd never get score enough points? They're both playing by the book so far. All right, now it comes down to positioning herself to intercept Shindou-san and force him into a dogfight. Huh? Misaki, quit spacing out and focus.
ぼーっとなんかしてないって。
Then hurry up.
そんなに慌てる必要ないでしょ。精神集中しながら飛んでるんだから、そんなに叫ばないでよ。
This is not going well so far. Shindou-san's extremely fast. Shindou-san has already made it past the halfway point to the first line. That's not the speed of an all-rounder. Somehow he's as fast as a speeder. If you keep flying that slowly, he'll reach the third buoy by the time you make it to the second line.
ちょっと、急ぐ。
Did Shindou-san tune his grav shoes to fit a speeder style? By the time Misaki has taken her position on the second line to intercept Shindou-san, he's already scored his first point from touching second. It's almost in the middle of the second line. Now it's only a short distance away from Misaki, so she doesn't have time to adapt.
うわ、まさや、進藤さんはどの方向から抜ける？
The unexpected development has Misaki bewildered. If his shoes are on speeder setting, he should do a low yo-yo to accelerate even further past her from below. Below you! Misaki probably went to say got it, but she cuts herself off before she finishes saying it. But if he knows the standard strategies, he's gonna go up. Oh my gosh. Shindou-san easily passes over Misaki's head. He's climbing diagonally upward. Why? Either way, I need to give Misaki a new plan. Don't go after him. Jump to the third line. Misaki follows my instructions and makes it for the third line. But why? Satomi-san taps my shoulder, covering her mic from her headset to keep Shindou-san from hearing her, and looks at me. Guess she wants to tell me something. I'll follow her example and cover my mic.
落ち着いてはいかがかしら。今のはあなたのミスでしたよ。
That was technically it was bad advice. It's my fault. It's not that Shindou-san is just too good.
指示を出すタイミングが早かったのですわ。あんなに露骨に下に行く動きを見せたら上に逃げるに決まっています。
Point. I hadn't thought about that. I see. I panicked because of Misaki's bewildered voice. It's obvious that Misaki would immediately respond to my voice, given the state she was in. Shindou-san chose that direction after he saw Misaki start to move, huh? Normally it works the other way. The Skywalker who's trying to intercept someone, meaning Misaki, is supposed to watch their opponent's movements and respond in kind. But that's the counter that a speedster can do, is they can fluster them. Give them very little time to make a decision. Because like if their entire strategy is foundational about responding in time to your actions, being unpredictable is one thing, but also just keeping them on the back foot is another really good way to make sure you can get what you need. Thanks for the advice.
お互いを高め合う練習試合だからですわ。本番ではこうはいきませんことよ。
Yes, that's fair. I remove my hand from my headset mic and speak through it. Misaki, let's calm down and take this step by step.
さっき、
Hmm?
進藤さん、私を追い抜いた時、変な顔で笑ってた。
Wasn't that just your imagination?
かもしれないけど。
I'd know, I'd trust that. I can hear Misaki breathing deeply. After scoring a second point by touching third, he abandons his perfect forward form and throws out his chest and bent backward, effectively pumping the brakes. He is gonna just be mean, isn't he? He's basically saying like, all right, come at me.
あれってどういう意味だと思う？
Shindou-san is in full control of the match. Chances are high that he had maintained his speed and kept going. He would have broken past Misaki and scored his third point by touching fourth. The fact that he drastically slowed down despite that can only mean, even from here, I can see that Shindou-san has a strange smile on his face. He's basically said he's already won. He's like, he's decided. He's like, yep, they had the only opportunity they had to show that they might actually challenge me was in that second line. They already messed up. He's just like, I got this in the bag. Now I'm just gonna goof around.
あれって私のことバカにしてるよね。
Don't fall for it. I can't believe Shindou-san's doing this. Does his personality change during matches? No, that's the thing. His personality's never changed. He's just somebody who has a good poker face. Hey, answer me.
私ああいうの嫌いだな。
I'm sure, but I imagine that's gonna play right into his hand. Again, don't fall for it. He's trying to provoke you. Answer me. I don't know if Misaki could be. I didn't know that Misaki could be this stubborn. What am I supposed to do with her second in this situation? Shindou-san slowly approaches Misaki.
それってどういうつもりですか？
このままスピードに任せて得点を重ねてもいいんだけど、それだと練習にならないよね。
You know what? I also think I know what this angle is. He asked us last night if he could challenge us and defeat us, right? And we said no. Or we didn't answer. He took that as a no. But there is a way he can defeat us. He can defeat us by proving that we're incompetent as a coach. So I think that's what he's going to do. Is he's going to just absolutely just stomp us here. And he's going to come down and he's going to say, like, Misaki's got a lot of talent. You're the weak link to us. So he says, so in a way, I did defeat you. I did surpass you. I can hear their conversation through the headset.
だからどうしたいんです？
ドッグファイトに付き合ってあげようかなって。
God, he's so condescending.
あげようですか。
そう。あげようだよ。
Misaki's irritation is clear as day. It's easy to just say calm down. However, a fighter who runs away from a dogfight has no chance of winning. Misaki. Calm down and do it.
それってどういう意味？
I mean, act dumb, but play smart.
分かったような分かんないような感じだけど、つまりセコンドとしてはバチバチドッグファイトをしても OK ってこと？
That feels dangerous. It feels dangerous because I feel like she's gonna say in her next line, like, I don't need your permission. Basically.
相談は終わったかな？
ああ、はい。そのことなんですけど。
While talking to Shindou-san, Misaki casually moves her hand in a motion akin to her swatting a bug away from her eyes, then she advances forward quietly and swiftly. With a smooth, natural motion, she extends her right hand towards Shindou-san's chest and... a burst resounds. Ooh. The music's kicking in. Look at that. Shindou-san loses his balance and gets thrown backward. Misaki was also thrown backward, but she hasn't lost her balance yet. Since they'd both been standing still, their speed was now down to practically zero. In this situation, the fighter has a huge advantage.
体は熱く心は冷たくってこういうこと？
Bingo. Now dart forward to seize control.
了解。
Misaki attacks Shindou-san while he's still struggling to regain his balance.
そういうことするんだね。
It's not a trick. It's called strategy.
どういうことだってしますよ。
I have to say that. He's gonna freaking make you pay for it. This is another good picture. I went outside today. I think I got bit by like a dozen mosquitoes. And I'm like, just like, my arms. Winning's all that matters. Shindou-san swings his arm sideways, trying to touch Misaki. Misaki calmly dodges that, enters a short climb as she turns upside down. Now driving downward head first, she tries to touch Shindou-san's head. Good choice. If she repels the back of his head, Shindou-san will fall forward, losing his balance and revealing his back in the process. Huh? After spinning around 90 degrees on a vertical axis, he touches Misaki's extended arm in a way that repels her in a diagonally upward direction. Yeah, that's not good. The force makes Misaki's body flip over, putting her in a position where she's facing the sky. From Shindou-san's perspective, she's defenseless, revealing her back to him as she flies diagonally upward. And unfortunately, before Misaki can steady herself, Shindou-san thrusts his arm up from below.
はい、まず1点。
ちょっと
Misaki sent flying upward again as he touches her, and Shindou-san, who then pursues her from below, once again reaches out and...
2点目。
At this rate, she's going to let him keep scoring until the match ends. Misaki, thrash about. Doesn't matter how, just throw your arms and legs around you to turn your body.
うわ
そんなみっともない逃げ方をするなんてがっかりだな。
Don't tell me. He knew it would turn out like this the moment he defended himself by thrusting out his arm. It's standard practice to attack from above when your opponent defends their front. And the fact that it's standard practice means, do you see through all of Misaki's actions past that point? Well, you gotta think about it too, like remember, her thing is that she's really good at whatever she tries, right? But she's gonna be good in like standard ways, like systematic ways. If you're used to playing other players, you gotta start thinking high level. It's like, what's the saying? That the grandmaster of chess doesn't need to fear the second best the best chess master doesn't need to fear the second best chess master. They need to fear the rising rookie who might attempt things that they've never considered or faced before. And that's kind of the problem here is even if Misaki were fantastic, he's thinking as somebody who's good at playing against other competent flying circus flyers, skywalkers. She's approaching this from like a perspective of like, you know, what people would normally do. And he's like got plans around those standards. That's the only possible explanation. There's no way he just dodged all her attacks on a reflex. My throat runs dry. What kind of strategy can I use against such a skilled opponent?
この程度だったなんてがっかりだな。
その言い方とその笑顔頭にくるんですけど。
そう言うならもっと真剣にかかってきたらどうだい。ファイターなのにオールラウンダーの僕に翻弄されるのって。
Misaki, don't attack.
する。
No, don't. Focus on defense.
攻撃する。
Don't. I'll treat you to as many snacks as you want. So listen to me.
ケーキでもいいの？ケーキバイキングはからの？
I mean, yeah, you got her attention, dude, but now she's distracted. Girl, don't get so excited about cake. Anything's fine. Just trust me right now, okay? Focus on dodging all of his attacks. Anything that seems like an opening will just be a trap, so ignore them. Make sure you dodge at point-blank range. Get as close to him as you can.
でも攻撃しないと。
Cake.
でも。
All you can eat cake buffet.
もう分かった。近づいてかわすことだけすればいいんだね。
I hope you're not talking so loud he can just hear you. That's right. Stick to the plan even if he scores points off you. Misaki quickly approaches Shindou-san.
また奇襲？
どうでしょうか。
The two of them close in on each other without attacking. It's a slight you rarely see in FC. I was right. Shindou-san focuses on countering in dogfights. In other words, he waits for his opponent to make the first move. He only retaliates after making his opponent move in a predictable manner. That means he isn't good at launching an attack himself, or at least that should be the case. Here's the thing. He probably is decent at it. But here's the thing. It's for an all-rounder, that platform is a fantastic strategy. If he's fighting a fighter and the fighter is competent enough to engage him, right? Being able to fight defensively, utilizing the standard tricks and expectations of a fighting style, and having a counter for them means that he can take the upper hand in a way that a fighter wouldn't expect or wouldn't be necessarily prepared for. Speedster's probably going to play the same way. He probably has a good way of flying that can help counter or use the anticipation and typical moves of a speedster to counteract them. It basically means by being an all-rounder, he's built a defense, aggressive defense against the other opponents. He plays his opponent. He doesn't play the game. It's a very solid strategy.
ファイターなのにそんなに近づいて何もしないのかい？
進藤さんから攻撃してきてくださいよ。怖く。
どうだろうね。
I mean, the other thing too is like he's probably gonna be fine at this, but it's also like he's also kind of being silly for just doing this. He's just goofing around, obviously, because he's got all these points. If she chooses not to try and take aggressive strikes against him, he could just coast and start hitting buoys again. It would force her, because otherwise she just loses by default. Shindou-san reaches out to Misaki as he bends forward. Misaki dodges by a hair's breadth. Shindou-san tilts forward even more to accelerate, which forces Misaki to respond in kind to keep up with him. Oh wow, look at that pattern. Like, the lines tell quite a story. They're doing like barrel rolls around each other. Interesting. This really does feel like dogfighting. Shindou-san tries to go right, but Misaki moves to block his path. Looks like she's following my instructions to the letter. This is exactly what I was going for. Reflexes are the most important factor in dogfights. Point blank range. When they're that close, Shindou-san can't force her to move as he pleases. She's sticking to Shindou-san and keep dodging one attack after another. Considering the upside of her testy ground shoes, there's no wonder she can pull that off. However,
すごいわね。
yeah, even I'm surprised. Misaki's still dodging. Attack after attack is met with dodge after dodge. To some extent, the fact that Shindou-san is wearing all-rounder shoes with speedster tuning explains why he's having so much trouble. But that's not all. I didn't realize Misaki was this good. Her reflexes, they remind me of him. An unpleasant memory floats in mind, making it hard for me to breathe. Again, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, I feel like there's a lot of gender mix-ups that might be going on, but that history one, like, I thought, what if it was Misaki who, like, ruined his career? Because she said it was a kid, like a boy, but what if she just had short hair at the time? Having grit her teeth, Misaki winds her way around Shindou-san's body like a snake on a branch. And then she gets behind Shindou-san. I figured if she kept dodging, she'd eventually end up behind him, but I didn't expect it to happen so fast. Shindou-san sent flying toward third while Misaki touches his back. No, there will be plenty of cake for you. Focus! That really is her thing. She's like, oh crap, I scored a point. Does that mean I don't get my cake?
やっぱりやればできるじゃないか。じゃあ続きをしようか。
He looks so evil. Misaki goes on the defensive while Shindou-san resumes his assault. Eventually, Misaki scores another point and the match ends. Yeah, the final score is 2-4. There's a strange mood among everyone who was watching the match. Must be surprised that Misaki kept dodging Shindou-san's attack.
お疲れ様。挑発するようなこと言って悪く。
私に付き合ってわざと攻撃してくれたってことでいいんですか?
It also, like, whether he intended it or not, it also pushed you to show us what you actually are capable of.
そんな意地悪な解釈をしなくていいよ。
でも本当の試合だったらああいう戦い方はしませんよね。
If it works?
どうだろうね。それは本番までの秘密だよ。
Misaki walks over to me.
ねえ、私すごくなかった?
You definitely were. Still, I'm giving you 0 points.
どうして? 進藤さんから2点も取ったのに?
0 also applies to me. You didn't really listen to me back then until I bribed you, right?
いや、それはその進藤さんに挑発されてカッとなっちゃったから。
Yeah, unfortunately, that's a pretty glaring weakness. We kind of need to put a little bit of a patch on that. Well, I didn't do a great job of leading you either. So yeah, 0 points for both of us today.
自己評価厳しいな。でも今日のでマサヤの指示に従ってもいいかなって思ったよ。
Well, what a relief. Yeah, that's not much of a bright side. I want you to say you will follow my instructions from now on. Anyway, training's the name of the game.
わかりました。コーチ。
Misaki's dons a playful smile when she says that. I'm not sure she actually gets it. After that, Mashiro's match finishes in short order, and Asuka's turns arrived.
頑張ります。
So, alright, so we just skip over Mashiro's match? We don't even hear about it? Why? She's the person I know the least about. Why do I learn nothing? It feels weird. Like, is that gonna happen for the rest of the freaking game, or what? It's good that you're excited, but don't overdo it. Your shoulders are all stiff.
そうでしょうか。
Yeah, you seem bolted to the spot. Take a few deep breaths and loosen up.
はい。
I can do that too. Again. Now, dangle your arms, rotate your shoulders around.
こんな感じでどうでしょうか?
Still stiff. Just a practice match. There's no need for you to be so nervous.
緊張してません.
Oh, really? Oh, come on. What are you trying to fool? You weren't that nervous when you faced Satuin-san, right? Granted, she had literally no knowledge.
あの時は何も知りませんでしたから。でも今は練習の成果を出さないと思うと。
Yeah, I totally get this. And you won't ever do that if you get nervous. You can't pull off any quick moves with a stiff body.
リラックスします。
Doesn't seem to be working, though. Your opponent's a speedster. All you need to do is intercept her and nullify her speed.
はい、落とします。そろそろ試合を開始したいのですけど、よろしいかしら?
Oh, well, this'll be interesting. Hi, Rika. Yeah, we're good to go.
よろしくお願いします。
Asuka's opponent is Rika Ichinose. Ichinose flies ahead to first. Alright, off you go.
はい、頑張ります。
Here's the parent girlfriend and the parent girlfriend. You know, depending on who you talk to. I sent Asuka off with a clap on her back. This is her first real practice match. Expecting her not to feel nervous is asking for the impossible.
よろしくお願いします、リカちゃん。
I also get the feeling that Rika is going to be one of those ones she's like, oh, lovely, so sweet, lovely to meet you, go! Like she's going to turn to a demon.
胸をお借りします。
Eventually, the whistle that signals the start of the match resounds. Look at her go! Ichinose tilts her body downward and makes for second with a low yo-yo. And Asuka tries to keep up with her. Hey! Asuka's grab shoes have standard all-rounder settings. Maybe she'd have a shot if they had a speedster tuning, but that's not the case here. Need to stop her before it's too late. Asuka, you can't win in a contest of speed.
はい、そうでした。
You need to jump to the second line right away.
はい。
Asuka proceeds to the second line. Man, she really is all tense. It'd be real bad if Ichinose interpreted what Asuka did as a plan to provoke her. I can picture her saying, I see. You're a Seki who would stoop so low, huh? After everything's said and done. Why do we always assume that she thinks the worst of us? Yep, look at that. That's the face of focus! Having scored a point by touching first, Rika uses the repellent force from the touch to accelerate. Interesting. She definitely isn't bad, but I feel like she entered the climb of her yo-yo about 1 second too early. Her acceleration gain was fairly minimal because she misjudged the angle she would touch when she touched the buoy. Feels to me like she has a bad habit of getting impatient in critical situations. Asuka waits at the center of the line for Ichinose. Stay calm. Remember, you need to get to where she's going, not where she is. That's why I might be a decent fighter, is because that's like my brain is all wired for that, like anticipating where people are. My favorite example was oh, what's it called? There's a game that a friend of mine got me to play. It's like Warhammer 40K Gothic Armada. It's like the spacecraft game. And if you control the fleets of the Imperium, like the Space Marines, they have one of the most common weapons they have is a torpedo. The torpedoes are really strong, but once you fire them, they just travel in a straight line at a set like a straight line set direction. Like you can't change them after you fire them. And so the whole way you use them is you have to fire them where you know your opponent is likely to be, not where they are. But I actually have a really good sense for that. He always talked about how like insane it was how often I would like fire torpedoes from across the map and I would land them really consistently. But a lot of it just comes down to this idea like I'm fairly good at like, I don't know what we call predictive modeling, mental predictive modeling of like anticipating where people can be or where they might be. Makes driving on the roads horrifying because especially on the freeway, I'm constantly watching and imagining what like things that cars could do that could catch me off guard, and I just try and keep myself like in a relatively safe position. It makes things stressful, but it also I think has helped save me from some close calls. All right, let's do this. Oh, look at, whoa, what an interesting in cut they're doing. There's like a central buoy there. I wonder if that's just like meant to facilitate like the whole field, or if she's actually going for that for a reason. Ichinose proceeds to climb gently. Asuka also climbs response. Oh, this is the trouble with a two-dimensional picture. It looks like she's going towards the middle, but she's accelerating up, so she's doing an incline. Maybe a slightly angled one, but mostly it's vertical. It'd be great if she managed to intercept her, but I doubt it's going to be that easy. Ichinose banks right while climbing. Asuka responds to that by tilting forward and accelerating.
抑えますさせません
Ooh, after luring Asuka over to her right, Ichinose twists her body and dives left instead. As a result, Asuka ends up flying away from her. Then she twists her body in an attempt to follow Ichinose, but loses her balance. That's the problem. You're going where she is, not where she's heading. With that, Ichinose outruns Asuka. Spread out your arms and legs while taking a deep breath. After that, just jump to the third line. Forget about chasing her, catching her for now.
わかりました
Ah, sweet Asuka.
行きます
She's just a floof. She's just a floof. She's only scored 2 points. You're not too far behind, so keep calm. She's probably feeling pretty disappointed.
すごいですね
Huh? For some reason, she's all hyped up. What do you mean?
目の前から消えちゃったみたいに見えましたああいう動きができるんだって思ったらドキドキします
She's so optimistic. Ah, that's very cool. I'd want to have her on a team or be friends with her, like just for these types of moments where it's like when things could normally be getting under people's skin and like making them feel frustrated or upset, which would make me feel frustrated or upset. I'd be beating myself up so hard to have her just be like, "Wow, that was awesome. I hope I could do that someday." It's so cool. I see.
楽しいです
I'm impressed that she can say something like that when she's losing. Then make sure we have a lot more fun. Ichinose touches the third, right as Asuka reaches the middle of the third line. The score is 0-2. Ichinose stands downward. I'm guessing she wants to gain speed with a low yo-yo. She must think Asuka's all flustered and off balance right now, which would make rushing past her quite easy. Where is she gonna be? Not where she is. Anticipate when she'll start her climb. Oh, fetch! Look at that! Asuka starts to move to where Ichinose is set to ascend, but Ichinose suddenly enters a steep climb in response.
捕まりません
Because Asuka moved her body in a weird way to go after Ichinose, she ends up losing her balance again. Darn, she's ruthless. No way, ruthless isn't the right word here. She's simply giving it everything she's got. Normally, speedsters don't make use of such reckless steep climbs because they result in rapid drop in speed, which is their main win condition. However, this type of movement is extremely effective against beginners. After all, most beginners tend to chase after their opponent on the spur of the moment, which leads to a loss of balance. Regain your balance and fly to the fourth line. Be careful out there. Make sure you don't lose your balance.
なんだか少し分かってきた気がします
Pure optimism. Huh? What do you mean?
うまく言葉にできませんけどとにかく分かってきた気がするんです
I think as a coach, I would start to be like, all right, especially because she's a beginner, I think we should let her trust her instincts a bit because we've seen her instincts can lead her in good directions. So I'd be like, all right, for this last one, I want you to just follow what you think will happen. Just remember the core concept of you're going to where she's going. You want to be anticipating where she'll be, not where she is, and respond to what she does, thinking that 2 steps ahead. Ichinose touches fourth. The score is now 0-3. This time, Ichinose is flying straight along the fourth line, approaching Asuka directly. There's no way she's going to collide with Asuka, so it's safe to assume she'll turn at some point. About what Asuka said earlier. I'm guessing she meant she'd realized Ichinose is using feints, but well, beginners often end up in the worst position than when they started when they try to counter feints. Because yeah, you try to anticipate, and then you end up going way too early. I should stop her, but ruining her concentration now could make things just make things worse. And as they say, there are some things you can only learn through experience. Guess I'll keep quiet here in the hope that she'll learn a valuable lesson.
行かせてもらいます
Ichinose starts to fly the scissor, turning left and right as she closes in on Asuka. Man, she really is just doing things to throw off beginners. Asuka, standing in Ichinose's way, floundered left and right, almost loses her balance. There, she's like, where? Huh? Asuka almost intercepts Ichinose. Ichinose managed to dodge by a hair's breadth with a steep climb, but after her. She's faster now. She lost her momentum. Ichinose speeds down due to the scissor and a steep climb. And while it's not good that as good as fighters, the initial velocity of an all-rounder is already pretty decent. There's a very real chance of Asuka catching her in this situation. Asuka closes the distance between her and Ichinose. Can she catch up? Ichinose enters a low yo-yo and tries to shake her off, but Asuka follows. It's all over. She tries and fails to catch Ichinose now. Be better to let her get a feel for chasing her opponent, but it's important to teach her when to give up as well. She was really close there, though. Jump to the first line.
Hi!
At least she listens. I see. Guess I was wrong. Asuka hasn't realized Ichinose is doing feints. No, she's actually come to understand something far more basic, namely, how to regain her balance midair. Does that mean she'd only just figured it out during this match? Guess things like that happen, but I look at the side. Oh, so Rika's getting frustrated. Looks like Satoin-san's calming Ichinose down, so clearly what just happened was a surprise to her as well. Asuka, carefully watch Ichinose's flight path until the last second. There's no need to rush. You've got to suppress any urge to move. I think Rika and I are very similar. Like, I feel like she's getting really frustrated. She's winning, but she's frustrated because she's seeing like the little mistakes that she's making, and they like build up in her mind. That's how I am, absolutely. Much like on the fourth line, she's rushing straight towards Asuka. Only difference is there are no scissors this time. Her plan is to shake Asuka off with pure speed. Ichinose uses the light feint, but Asuka doesn't even twitch. I'm honestly surprised she can stay so still just because I told her to. Ichinose turns right. Ichinose spreads out her arms and legs and enters a high yo-yo. In other words, she's going to a steep climb. That successfully dropped her speed, which makes Asuka overshoot and pass below Ichinose. Her back is now fully exposed. Dang, they got us. I didn't expect her to go for Asuka's back instead of the buoy. Did Satoin think about this strategy? Man, I really wanted her to score at least 1 point to build up her confidence. Whoa. Asuka curls up and... Huh? Whoa! Did she just do a, like, harsh, like, bank turn? So she, like, tucked herself into a ball to basically, like, completely flip herself over, and now she's gonna, like, push up. Like basically, if I'm reading what she's just done here correctly, she's basically done the effective, like, if you're fighting like a fighter jet, she's killed the engine, banked really hard. So like she's basically like flipped the craft, like would do like a flip back, and then it's gonna boost hard, basically the opposite direction. It's a wrenching, G-force inducing, like pummeling type of maneuver to do. Now in these situations, probably not as pummeling and punishing as like the aircraft job, but it's basically pushing the mechanics and the physics to the limit of what the machines can do. So I'm thinking she's doing that with these shoes, basically pushing these things off to something that's crazy, or even better, if she's somehow using a spin to make sure to protect her back, and to then utilize like Ichinose trying to reach out for her to purposely boost her away. Holy crap, she seemingly kicks off air, jetting in the opposite direction as a result. An air kick turn? Isn't as clean as in her match against Satoin-san, but still, it's enough to make Ichinose's hand claw the empty air. Yeah, she's freaking like, she's just something else, man. Oh my gosh, we didn't do nothing! Ichinose now has missed her target. She's past Asuka, exposing her back to her opponent. Nice! Asuka touches Ichinose's back. She scored 1 point. Ichinose uses the repellent force from Asuka touching her back to make for second. It's true. The downside is Rika's utilized the push. Ideally, you're not pushing in that direction, but you know what? I'm taking this as the victory. Asuka would have gotten a chance to score even more points if she touched Ichinose from above, but it didn't work out that way. No, you did great. Now jump to the second line. After that, Asuka fails to keep up with Ichinose's speed and lets her score again and again by touching buoys, bringing the score to 1-6 by the end. That still was impressive, though. The end of our 3-day training camp has arrived, which means now we just have to pack up and head on home. No one seemed to want to part with all the new friends they'd made. And honestly, I'm in the exact same boat.
ありがとう。有意義な合宿になったよ。
You know what? I have to apologize. I really thought you were going to be way more toxic than you ended up being. You still have time. Maybe we'll see you in a tournament where you're actually going to be really mean. Because I see the potential there. But this wasn't as bad as I expected. Agreed. I'm sure all my players are a lot more motivated now.
そうだ。君からも飛沢くんには謝っておいてくれるかな。
And she got cake out of the deal. She's probably fine. What? Don't want to face her after all the bullying? What's up?
本気でそうは思っていないくせに。
Yeah, he's right. He was just trying to bring Misaki's potential to the surface, and frankly, seeing that has me wanting to get her to take FC seriously. Fine, I'll apologize, though I doubt she's holding a grudge or anything.
だったらいいけど、彼女ヒヤッとする目を見せたからね。
That's because she's an in-the-moment type person. Well, for real. Maybe Misaki's got a competitive side to her after all.
彼女は伸びるね。いや、彼女だけじゃないか。
Yeah, Asuka as well. Shindou-san directs his eyes in a certain direction as he says that, and when I turn to look where he's looking, I see... You're such a sweet little floof, and you're gonna be like the terror of the 7 seas when it comes to Flying Circus. Dang, you got good ears. I motion for her to leave with my hand. She's like, oh, you talking about me? Go, shoo. Luckily, Asuka gives in to my demand. Guess she understands that this is a private conversation.
仲がいいね。
I am her coach. None of this would have worked if we didn't trust each other. Not like I'm doing anything special to develop our relationship, though. Interesting. Shindou-san sees something special in Asuka as well, huh? Can't say I disagree, though unfortunately she's a lot more raw than even Misaki.
君が FC に戻ってきた理由が分かったような気がしたよ。
Oh, cool. Maybe you can tell me why? Because I'm not sure I know why. There's no special reason, I swear.
さて、挨拶も後がつかえてるようだし。
Is this going to be another encounter with Rika? The girl whom we can just never quite have a wholesome moment with, because every time we cry, we get really close, and then something horrible happens. Huh? Oh. Well, I certainly feel someone's eyes on me now.
君が彼女たちにどんな翼を与えるのか楽しみだよ。
How very poetic of you. Huh?
夏の大会でまた会おう。
Shindou-san turns around after spitting out those parting words. Oh, hold on. Can we shake hands? When we first met, our handshake was initiated by Shindou-san. But right now, I really want to take the lead and return his friendly gesture.
喜んで。
We shake hands, but before we part. With Shindou-san gone, next up is... Hey, Rika. How are you? I think I mentioned this last time. I feel like the game has some favorites. Maybe one specific favorite. Why do we get all these like really interesting, like borderline intimate, like goofy moments with specifically Rika? Like I thought this game was about having branches, like multiple choices or like routes you could go down, which I'm pretty sure it has. But it really is like laying hard into the idea that it's like focus on Rika. Rika's the one. Rika's like the favorite because she gets all these really goofy type of like mistaken interactions and weird like scenes and stuff. It's just like again, I'm feeling like there's a bias. Hey, Satoin. Satoin-san.
実に有意義な合宿でした。副部長としてお礼を申し上げますわ。
Cool. Shido-san's already said this, though. Wait, what's the other person Shido-san mentioned? Satoin-san?
ちょっと佐藤君、
佐藤院ですわ、部長。
今後のスケジュールについて少し相談があるんだ。
No, he meant Rika because he's feeling the ship. He's on the Team Rika ship. I can tell you that right away. And he's like, Satoin, like, get out of there, Satoin.
お待ちください。私は今副部長として感謝のご挨拶をしているところですから。
下級なんだ。佐藤君の意見を聞きたかったんだが。
Come on.
佐藤院です。すみません。慌ただしくはありますが、これで。
Satoin, you're great. You're good people. Oh, okay. I'm so confused right now. Hey, Chinose, huh? I noticed her looking at me earlier. We haven't talked since last night. I've been meaning to apologize, but I figured I could wait until both of us got home. Still, I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. May as well take care of it now, since this chance has fallen right into my lap. And so, the first words to leave my mouth are... I'm sorry. Having bowed our heads at the same time, we both go... Huh? Puzzled looks appeared on both our faces. Oh, I think she was remembering, like, wait, weren't we supposed to not apologize anymore? Actually, the exact same thing happened last night. Why are you thanking me? I mean, that seems kind of weird, considering what happened yesterday and all. She's like, that didn't happen! Yeah, sure. I want to, but I'm not sure that's possible. Thanking me? No. I mean, yeah, it is a little weird, but the thought that counts. You know, you could have waited till we were home. What, are you dying? Are you killing me? Have you, like, sabotaged my shoes so I dive into the ocean never to be seen again? Oh, okay. I recall what she told me yesterday. It's true. You're absolutely right. But also, fate seems to always roll us another one, so... I spot a group of grinning girls staring at us. Are those Ichinose's friends? I think they're the girls who teased her on the first day of the training camp. Wait, does this mean she chose to do it now as some sort of punishment? I'm not sure if the word serious is enough to properly describe her. I swear, she's borderline on crazy here. Thanks for everything. Hi! Ichinose responds with a smile as I thank her. Thanks, huh? Now that's a word that soothes the mind. Ichinose said it to me, I responded in kind, which means both of us feel a whole lot better. Oh, wait. Just so we're clear, I'm not thanking you for what happened yesterday. Just drop it! She initially doesn't get what I mean, and tilts her head in confusion, but after a few seconds... She's like, don't talk about that! She flushes red as the meaning of my words hits her. But I had to say things straighter. It sounded like a total creep. Besides, you haven't forgiven me yet. Ichinose suddenly brings her face close to mine and lowers her voice. Right, can't have anyone overhearing this. But I mean, you can't hold it against me forever. The second one maybe, but the first one was definitely completely an accident. Okay. What does that mean? That can mean a lot. There's a spectrum, and on those extreme ends, it's either like we have to get married, or I have to commit seppuku. So where in that spectrum are you wanting me to be? Huh? I think she was on the marriage side of that. Right. That scared me. Ichinose lets out a little giggle, seemingly mocking my lack of response. or just a kick at the head.
なんだか日向さんには調子を狂わされてばかりです。
Yeah, but it's fun. I'm so... Rise begin to bow deeply apologize. Ichirose stops me.
お互いに行きましょう。これでもうとりあえずわだかまりはなしということで。
How many fresh starts are we gonna have?
ありがとうございました。
No, thank you. Huh? Ichirose suddenly covers her body and backs away from me. What's wrong?
い
Exactly.
ろいろあることは
She senses the hammer of fate coming for her. She's like, wait a minute. Seems like unpleasant memories have surfaced in her mind. They say the third time's a charm, so, oh, this is really awkward.
やっぱり日向さんにお礼を言われるとなんか違うことを思い出しちゃいますね。
What are we supposed to do then? Didn't you want to pretend it never happened?
ひなた
そろそろ帰るってさ
Oh, gotcha. Students from both schools line up across from each other before we part. This is our way of saying goodbye. Our club presidents standing in front of each other right now.
夏の大会で会おう。
ああ必ずな。首を洗ってって振動ひなたじゃなくてこっちを見ろ
he's understanding really. He's like, so he's like, gonna see each other next summer, and then Xian's like, yeah, of course. You're not even looking at me.
それではお互いに礼。
Thank you. And with that, arigatou gozaimasu. The curtain falls on the 3 days training camp with Takafuji Academy.
これで終わりじゃないぞ。家に帰るまでが合宿だ。
What, are you implying something's gonna happen? Right. Still, our training has come to an end.
で、どうだった？
What do you mean? What am I saying? She's obviously talking about my overall impression of the training camp. We all learned a lot, but I look around.
次は俺の筋肉特集とかどうだ？
いやー、それはわいせつ物陳列罪で発禁とか食らいそうなんで。
俺の筋肉の何がわいせつ物か？
That girl's creepy enough as it is anyway. Let's keep her as far away from you as possible.
ちょっとお兄、これ以上私に恥かかせたらお母さんに言いつけるからね。
Thank you, Madoka. Well, I guess most of us learned a lot. Better to forget about that group.
美咲先輩、なんだか元気なくないですか？
別に。
また先輩お腹減って。違いますね。
I think it's like she's used to winning and just achieving everything, so she got beaten, and it's gonna get to her. It's gonna get under her skin a lot more than you'd expect, probably.
もしかして今日の練習試合で、どこか怪我でもされたんじゃ。
いや、そういうんじゃなくてね。
嘘、美咲先輩のことですからわかります。私そういうの目ざといですから。
なんかこう、惜しいようなそうでもないような。
さあ先輩、私に幹部を全てをさらけ出しちゃってください。
とりあえず一人にしてほしいな。
Oh, wow.
どうした？
Oh, I'm just wondering if the training camp has changed anyone's mindset. I recall the words Shido-san said to me at the very end.
君が彼女たちにどんな翼を与えるのか楽しみだよ。
I like that. That's a good saying. These words suit Shindou-san, and honestly, it hit the nail right on the head too. I now have a concrete goal for this year's summer tournament. But the question is, what does everyone else want to do? This isn't up to me. No matter what they decide, my job is to pour all my energy into supporting them.
それはそうかもな。だがマサヤ、お前がみんなを引っ張ることもできるはずだ。考えて動くこともお前の仕事だぞ。
She's right. Like, you have to take that very seriously because there's being a coach, being like the leader of a team, even if you're in the coordination side of it, not strictly like the leadership on the field, like that leadership isn't gonna necessarily make or break the players, but the cohesiveness, the willingness they are to push themselves, yeah, it really is basically the leader. I remember I played orchestra growing up in middle and high school. Had a lot of fun with it. We had a fantastic teacher. She was wonderful. She was that perfect blend of someone who was willing to have a good time, crack some jokes, be a good influence, but was very serious, took her job seriously, expected us to do good, and chastised us if we were slacking off too much or if we weren't practicing properly. She would always encourage us to do our best. But then she retired and we got a new teacher. And the new teacher was fine. He was super pleasant. He was wonderful to talk to, be around. He was great at listening to us and he wanted us to like have a good time. But he really never pushed us. He never challenged us to learn better technique or to like play pieces that required a lot of effort. And so whilst the last 2 years of my orchestra class were easy, I felt like they really just suffered because I feel like it became completely 100% up to me if I wanted to push myself. And I was a kid. I was stupid. I didn't push myself. I really wish I had. I wish I'd been challenged more. I wish I'd been more motivated. Like, I watched the anime Sound Euphonium, which is about like the band, like girls in a band class. And that series, I watched that and I was like, my gosh, like it'd be so hard, but it would have been so good for me to have a teacher like they had there, where he basically lays it out for him and says, hey, look, we can either have fun or we can shoot for state. If we have fun, we'll just have fun. We'll play music, enjoy ourselves, learn what we can. If you want to go for state, I'm going to push you hard and you're going to do great, but you have to work at it and you might not have fun. I wish I'd had a teacher like that. Right. Well, I should just focus on getting a good night's rest once I get home. Oh, but I should note down everything I learned from Takafuji first.
コーチ
What's up, Asuka?
ですね
Something wrong?
この後練習付き合っていただけませんか
She's like, it's not enough that I was training all day. I want to practice. Our training camp literally just ended, but you want to keep going?
なんだかすごくいい風に乗れそうな気がするんです
Aww.
だから忘れないうちにって
I hope you're right, Asuka.
やっぱりお疲れですか
I'm fine, promise. My job is to help these girls grow wings. I'm glad you asked. Go ask Misaki and Mashiro if they want to join us. There she goes. Asuka hurriedly flies off. Looks like the training camp upped their motivation a ton. Or maybe not. Despite their complaints, Asuka gives me a hand signal to show that they've agreed. Seems they're up for it.
合宿した意味があったかな
Still have to wait and see if it's just them getting caught up in the heat of the moment, though. We'll put that thought aside for now. Let's see, how I need to decide what the exercise to use before we get back to our training grounds. Oh, look at that. Episode 3, Rivals End. Very cool. Did it do this last time? I'm sure I can fly anywhere. I can't remember if it did this. No, it doesn't feel like it. Why is it doing an intro? Oh, well, there we go. YouTube, look away! The music is bumping for this, though. Every time I start the game, I want to listen to the intro because it's just so good. Oh, no. Okay. Wow. Oh, she looks terrifying. Aw, it's fun. Yeah, it's just doing the intro, a new intro again. Yeah, I can get a live reaction with this one. Why not? Hopefully there's not any spoilers in here, besides like some of the characters we're going to see in the future. That's fun. It kind of shows a scene of like the other girls like cheering on. I want to see that happen too. That's awesome. Gah! I really do like just the presentation of this game. The music, the art style, it just clicks for me. I love it. All right. Well, starting chapter 4. Well, crap. I'm gonna go, but like, that's a helicopter. So I'm gonna try to remember to turn that down for our outro here. So, there we go. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you so much for being part of the channel. That was fun. Now we get to start the new chapter, and I'm guessing this is going to be like a cold introduction to our new like rival. Where this last time it was fairly friendly, this next rivalship is probably going to be actually part of the tournament arc and actually going to be intense. So it's going to be interesting to see. I'm looking forward to seeing us starting to pull some wins. I'm curious to see how each of the players react and see them grow. I'm hoping I get to know the other characters here in a little while. I had a thought just now, actually, just came to my mind. I was talking about like the beginning of the game, how it feels like Rika's kind of like a favorite, right? That she's getting preferential treatment. But I just got the realization that since we're not going to be playing against her school again for a while, maybe the reason why they were focused on her so much for that up till this point was that now that school is taking a step back, Rika is going to become a very much feeling like a side character where we only occasionally do stuff with her, where all the other girls are now going to be much more prominent. We're going to like get to know them. So I could see that being a reason. Interesting. I bet you I'm onto something there. Anyway, we'll have to move on and see where we go from here. So thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for the support on the channel, especially patrons and members. You're amazing. I don't deserve you. I hope to just keep making content that's interesting and engaging, and I just want to do the best I can to make the best I can. So thank you all so much. And until next video, watching me, have to see me in next. I'll see you there.